Hi, everybody. It's Tracy Lewin here, and
Peter Murray.
thank you so much for being with us today. This is the Bitcoin News Review, and it's brought to you by Bitmedia, everything Bitcoin. So, Peter, how are you doing? I know that you're traveling around this week.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I've got a very exciting week, all Bitcoin related and things like that. So I can't wait to get today's discussion started and get your teeth into what's happening this week in Bitcoin. So yeah, kick us off, Tracy. Thank you for hosting us again.
Thanks, Peter. Let's go ahead. Okay, so we have a Facebook page, and we've called the Facebook page Bit Media. So you'll find, and I hope you go and like our page. We need to send you the link as well. In fact, I think we'll put the link at the bottom of this video. But there will be articles that are going to be posted there, and these are some of the headlines of the articles that were posted there this week. The first thing is a question, actually. Is Bitcoin the future of remittances in Africa? You know, there's a lot of talk about Africa and about Bitcoin because they're saying that Africa is going to accept, or rather going to be an early adopter of Bitcoin. What do you think about that, Peter?
Well, I think it's absolutely true because at the moment remittances are sent either the guy has a bank account, but that is very few and far between. So remittances are sent to places like MoneyGram and Western Union, which charges a massive fee on distributing cash to people. And and also with Bitcoin, if you're sending money to somebody in Africa with a bank, it can take a while. If you're sending it with Bitcoin, it's available immediately. And the big question is, the adoption would be when people will actually start accepting Bitcoin and trading in Bitcoin from each other, because then it means those remittances will be free for people in Africa. So I think, African governments are very keen to do that because it's a huge drag on the economies, or the fact that there's large financial fees for people to use the banks, but also there's a huge, large unbanked sector that are not part of the formal economy because of that.
Yes. Well, you know what? They say that over 70% of people in sub-Saharan Africa do not have bank accounts. So we do know that Bitcoin is going to change this. And the interesting thing is, I didn't realize that they actually, some of these companies actually charge the people 20%, to move their money. So just
Well,
imagine.
well, it's not only that, the guy doesn't have a bank account or a bank
Yeah,
card, but he has a cell phone.
yeah.
Everybody in Africa has a cell phone. And the same thing applies to places like South America, Mexico, and places like that. So, so I can really see that, yeah, I think this article rings true to me.
And also India. India is another area.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's an interesting one as well. French politicians, um, in terms of blockchain technology, will lead to job losses. They are very nervous about this. And you know what? With any kind of trend, any kind of when there's something new happening out there will always be job losses. But then there are also jobs that are going to be created. But they are actually saying over here that the it won't be enough to cover the job losses. The job creation won't cover the job losses. So yeah, it's
Well, it's
definitely.
going to be interesting. The French politicians are always looking for votes somewhere, and they always, concerned about job losses and stuff. But I think, there's a wider story here, and that is the whole financial fraternity is very wary of Bitcoin and the control that they are losing over the financial system with things and new technologies like Bitcoin.
Yes,
But you know
most.
what? If I just look at how many, just this week, how many new Bitcoin businesses I've seen going up, and they all employ people. So I don't buy that. New technology has always been traditionally, there's been job losses because of new technology. But if you
Correct.
look in the world, if you look at the world today, and you look at the world, 100 years back, The unemployment is very, very low today because we've got a large growing technological development, developed economy worldwide, although we're not all working on farms. And interesting enough, the places where there's the highest unemployment are places like Africa, where there's a low technology uptake.
Yes, you're right about that. Okay, now this is a bit of a shocker. Hackers actually got into this medical center, into their computer system, and they installed a virus that encrypted their files. And these guys, in fact, I think it was today, or no, it was yesterday, they actually handed over $17,000 worth in Bitcoin to these hackers. I mean, that's a bit crazy.
That is crazy on the one hand, but on the other hand, also the fact that it's even reported. I understand that the hospital has been blackmailed. Actually, the biggest story is why were their computers hacked? The fact that the guys were paid in Bitcoin is probably giving the Bitcoin haters now something to say again. But what would they have said if the guys were paid in unmarked US dollar bills as hijackers? So it's one of those stories that's not really it's not really Bitcoin news. But
Mm.
it's interesting that the government or that the hospital actually had to give in. And this is computer hacking is becoming a big problem worldwide. But I promise you, the FBI are looking for these guys. So we'll see what happens with this story.
Yeah. All right, and then here, seven Asian banks investigating Bitcoin and blockchain technology. I mean, this is talking about Japan, Singapore, China. You know, the wheels are starting to turn.
Now, these banks that are talking about this blockchain technology, and this the French are saying there's going to be job losses. It sounds to me like these banks are hiring new people that are capable to develop new technologies to start competing in the blockchain market. Maybe the French should educate themselves on the technology that's happening instead of trying to politicians. Yeah. Anyway, let me not go into that.
Yeah, well, you know, that's a plan, hey? And, you know, you were in Paris today. So maybe the next time you go back there, you should talk to the politicians.
Yeah. Well, can I please not waste my time?
All right, here's a story that really interests me because I'm actually off to Dubai on Sunday. So I'm definitely going to this Museum of the Future. So the Dubai government is backing expansive blockchain research again. And you know, it just shows you that everybody is getting involved in this blockchain technology because there is just so much value to be gained. And yeah, so I'm actually quite excited. I'm going to let's just chat about this article, and I'm going to show you where I'm going to visit.
Wow, amazing. I think, just on that, the blockchain technology itself, that's going to be massive, massive, massive. I mean, I've talked, a lot to people about this week about, some applications. And one of the things we were talking about is a blockchain instant messaging, which is going to be totally secure and document exchanges. And I've been talking to a company that's very highly involved with asset exchange on the blockchain, where
Okay.
you can send stuff around. But anyway, that's something for a future discussion for us.
Mm, that is the Museum of the Future. I actually didn't even know this existed. So I'm actually quite excited. I really, really am excited. In fact, it's like really, really weird, don't you think? Where do you
It's
go in?
absolutely weird that they have a museum because all other museums are about the past.
Yeah,
I've never heard of the Museum of the Future. It doesn't feel right, does it?
no, but it also seems, it just feels like really weird. You know, where am I going to walk into this building, or is this just a sculpture on the outside? Well, I tell you what, I'm
Maybe
going to
there's a
go.
maybe there's a maybe there's an exhibition with spaces for things not yet invented.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go and visit this, and I'll take photographs and I'll report back.
It's interesting. When I was in London, there was an ad on BBC that was about the ad was about the Museum of Procrastination, and they had all these musical instruments that have only played Freire Jacques. There was these thousands of musical instruments. So anyway,
Okay, so you know what? The reason I put this one in, the 21 Bitcoin computer is now shipping to Canada. You know, you can actually buy, or individuals can buy these computers from Amazon now, and obviously they're trying to expand their their markets. But these computers are actually used for also for retail sales, digital sales, as well as if somebody wants to do their own mini Bitcoin mining. So quite interesting, you know. But it's not an easy thing to do your own mining, I have to say.
well, Tracy, I've got some news for you on that front, and I think that's going to be interesting, because you're right in terms of this, because and then this is where there's going to be some new crypto development on blockchain technology and stuff like that. Because with Bitcoin, it's very difficult to mine because you've got what you have proof of work, where you've got to solve this mathematical problem that becomes increasingly more difficult. But there's a new generation of coins that are now coming up that are working on a concept of proof, which is a much easier thing to mine and doesn't use the amount of energy and the amount of computing power. You can actually mine some of those coins on your phone, and you don't need these big mining farms. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works. I'll explain in a future video how manage to do that, and how they limit the amount of coins and stuff like that to make sure that it doesn't go out of control. But it's very interesting that that can be done. So that's also brand new developments that's happening right now as we speak.
Incredible. Okay, so the price watch. I mean, we are all watching the price. And look at this graph. I mean, it's incredible. And it's on the way up. So they reckon that we're heading towards $500 now.
Well, if you take that graph in your mind and you look at the exponential graph that starts at the bottom, you'll see the graph is almost in the form of a S, and
Yes,
that exponential graph is always a little bit higher. But if you look at the graph, if you go plot the graph, and I'll actually I'm going to go look at the graph of adoption, the adoption curve of Bitcoin. The price hugged the adoption curve of Bitcoin right until the end of the middle of 2014, and now the price has dropped under that adoption curve. So it means the Bitcoin price is actually very, very low. But you know what, Tracy? If you think about everything, in the last year, the Bitcoin price has not really gone anywhere. And but if you think what happened to adoption, all the things that we know are happening, all the new debit cards coming out, we just heard about all those Asian banks getting involved. Everything. This town in Holland that we talked about. All those type of things that are happening, where more and more people are using blockchain technology, more and more people are adopting bitcoins. The adoption curve is exponential, which
yes,
means for the price to be on that curve, the price has to go up exponentially as well, and it hasn't been going up exponentially. So which means the price is too low, and I think we're on one of those times now where if you are really, really a believer in Bitcoin and in cryptocurrency, the time to invest is now, because
yes.
my belief is that the Bitcoin price is on the verge of a major, major uptick, and an exponential rise like we've never seen before. That's my opinion, and I'm actually going to do something on the um, um, on the Bitcoin price and the charts and everything. I'll put it on your page for people that want to see that.
That will be awesome, Peter. I mean, really, it will be fantastic to have some insight in terms of where this price is going. Look, I firmly believe it's on its way up. I really, really do. Yeah, as we can see, there's a hiccup here and there, but the trend is still up. So I think we've got some.
The price is going to be volatile. You can be sure of that. This is a new
Yeah,
technology. Look, think of it this way. Hardly anybody in the world, I mean, in world terms, nobody's using Bitcoin yet. I
right.
mean, very few people. We're involved in the industry, and sometimes when you're involved with something, you have blinders on. You think everybody knows what you're involved with. 90% of people have never heard of Bitcoin. There's only a small amount of people that have actually even heard of it.
Yes.
So, when this technology really becomes taken up by the masses, the price is going to go bananas. I
Bananas.
don't know what else to say.
And you know what? I'm just so excited that we are first adopters. So, right in the beginning, of this trend, and I just know that the Bitcoin is unstoppable, and it's so so
If you
so
have a Bitcoin wallet, make sure that Bitcoin wallet is full of Bitcoins because the price is going only one way,
yes
up.
up.
It has to go up at some stage. Yeah, it's gonna go up majorly. That's my
Okay,
view.
so you spoke about, or you mentioned on him a bit earlier in the Netherlands, and here's this article about Burger King. So actually, in this town, within the city limits, you can go and buy a burger with Bitcoin. So apparently, in this Bitcoin friendly city, on him in Netherlands, they've got about 100 odd businesses that accept Bitcoin. So yeah, quite exciting.
That's
He should
very
be one.
interesting. I actually watched a video earlier today about Arnhem. Just and I didn't even know that you were going to have this on the show. But I watched the actual video the YouTube video on exactly the same story, and it showed how these shops are all using Bitcoin, and the shop owners. They interviewed one of the shop owners, and he can't wait for Bitcoin to be adopted more readily because at the moment he still needs to exchange his Bitcoins for euros, and it's costing him a lot of money. Because what he would love is if everybody uses Bitcoin, he can just keep his money in Bitcoin. He doesn't have to exchange it into euros. He's gonna save a lot of money, and he can't wait for that. And he thinks we're on the verge of a tipping point. And also in Arnhem, they are telling us that, or they said on the video that there's a bunch of Bitcoin tourists that come to Arnhem for a week or some even for 2 weeks, and then they come there to just live off Bitcoin and to prove that you can live off Bitcoin only. And you can in Arnhem, you can stay in a hotel, you can drink a beer, you can eat at a restaurant, you can go to a coffee shop, you can do everything by
And you
just
can
using
even buy a
Bitcoin.
burger.
You can buy a burger, and the Arnhem University is also there in a lot of involved in projects, in Bitcoin projects and stuff. So they are very the Dutch are very into Bitcoin, and I'm very much in favor of it. Actual fact, Tracy, I'll find that YouTube video, and I'll put it in on your page as well. So
Okay,
if
brilliant.
people want to see it, I'll actually also put it. I'll also make a playlist with it on with it. What I'm going to do is I'll try to find videos of most of these stories and put that onto our YouTube channel on a playlist, so that people can stay up to date with
Yeah,
everything.
excellent. That's an excellent idea, Peter. Thank you. Okay, so the quote of the week is Bitcoin is the people's currency. It's not for the lucky few. Bitcoin is for everyone. And this is so true. I mean, anybody can get into Bitcoin. It doesn't mean to say that you've got to have a huge amount of money to get into Bitcoin. You can start small, but you can get into Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is the great equalizer. If you're living in the third world, you have to travel to the first world to experience anything. But now you can experience first world finances in the third world without going anywhere.
Yes. No, it's incredible. Honestly, this is so exciting. Peter, do you have anything else to add, or are we going to sign off for the day?
I think we sign off for the day. We'll put a lot of more interesting stuff on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. So please leave a comment below this video, and please go visit our page and our channel. And thank you, Tracy. This was very interesting as usual, and I can't wait for us to talk again next Friday.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Peter.